Data meeting number 3, determining gaps and goals. Lisa Fox was the researcher, Karen Fitzsimmons was the team leader, Jill Thomas was the facilitator, and Rachel Green was the consolidator. Our exploratory question states, what instructional strategies can we integrate into all subject areas to help students successfully draw evidence from literary or informational text to support analysis, reflection, and research from the Florida State Standards? During week 7, we focused on data meeting number 3, determining gaps and goals. During the first part of the week, we individually analyzed our learning and instructional gaps. We also reviewed resources that we found during week 6 to have additional resources to support our thoughts on how to proceed in our data action plan. We collected our thoughts in the Google Doc linked here and reviewed each other's information prior to our live meeting on Sunday. Throughout the week, we also communicated via text message from morning to night to help us prepare for the data meeting on Sunday. During our meetings, all of the members successfully participated without any technological issues. We started by discussing Table 1 and connecting each learning gap to an instructional gap as seen here. Since we identified 2 learning gaps in Data Meeting 2, we focused on supporting each of those learning gaps with our main instructional gaps, along with resources that helped us form an action plan. All resources used in this table are in the last slide of this presentation. Here you see Table 1, where we found that all of our learning gaps connected back to our instructional gaps. Throughout our data meeting, we also referenced our original artifact tracking sheet to guide us in filling out Table 1. Next, we focused on Table 2, in which we developed SMART goals for each of the learning gaps. We wanted to ensure that the SMART goals were attainable, but also thinking that the assessments directly tied back to our exploratory question. We focused on a variety of instructional practices and devices in order to suit the needs of all learners. We thought about our ELL, special education, gifted and talented students and all. It is important to note that even though we focused on the FSA data, we continually kept in mind the cross-curricular aspect and the fact that we all teach different subjects. We've determined that all of our students would benefit from additional writing instruction regardless of the content or grade level that we teach. In general, our third data meeting went very well. Our communication remained strong and we were prepared to go into the data meeting on Sunday. Since we all provided input into the Google Doc and research resources ahead of time, we were able to jump right into the meeting Sunday morning. Many of the members in our group are very familiar with analyzing data on a daily basis, so the meeting flowed very nicely. One weakness is that we didn't anticipate how much time the data meeting would take because we were not entirely clear about the outcomes and demands required of this particular data meeting. Looking forward, in anticipation for data meeting 4, we will begin documenting our thoughts for a plan of action. As stated in Venables, page 60, between data meetings 3 and 4, we will each begin to research new strategies and assignments in order to further develop instruction that will begin to close these identified learning and instructional gaps. Lastly, throughout Table 1 and Table 2, we used many credible resources besides Venables to make decisions on what strategies to help our learning and instructional gaps. Here are the resources that we used throughout overall.